Fight Fiend Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host, back for yet another prediction video. If you have not yet, suplex the subscribe button and smash the hell out of the like button. I appreciate everybody tuning in each and every week. And like always, we're going to make some cash. That is for sure. We only got 12 fights on this pay-per-view, and it's going down in Anaheim, California. Main event, Ilia Topuria is going to challenge Alexander the Great Volkanovski for the featherweight championship. And that is going to be one hell of a close fight. It is a coin flip fight, and we're going to break it down on this video. But we're going to start it off with the prelims, looking at Miranda Maverick and Andrea Lee, women's flyweight fight here, opening off the card. And a lot of public money probably coming in on Andrea Lee. She has a lot of experience inside of the UFC, but Miranda Maverick is a girl on the rise here, coming off a win in the third round to Priscilla Cachoeira. You know, I'm not thinking she's going to get the finish here. She might grind out a decision. I think this is definitely going the distance. Either way, like over 1.5 should be safe. Over 2.5 should be safe. I'm not looking to bet Miranda Maverick, not looking to parlay her, but by a decision, I think she will grind it out against a tough veteran, Andrea Lee. A lot of experience inside the UFC, but she's 13-8, and I can't pick her to win. I know Miranda Maverick's last 3 losses come by a decision as well. Jasmine Jazz DeVicious, Erin Blanchfield, and Macy Barber. But I think those girls are young and on the rise as well. And Andrea Lee is just a little bit old and probably going to be a little bit too slow. I know she's technical on the feet. She could outstrike Miranda Maverick, but I think Maverick will take her down, get the control time, and win this fight. On to the next. We're going to take a look at another prospect who's making his UFC debut, Oban Elliott, coming from the Dana White Contender Series, where he won a majority decision, and he's faced off against Val Woodburn here. And I'm not sure how this one's going to go, to be honest. Like, I might take the underdog in this spot here, Val Woodburn. And prior to his debut in the UFC, he had 2 decision wins against 2 opponents that were quite experienced, 30-16, 17-8. And before that, he was running through guys, knocking them out, all in the first round other than 2 of them. And I think he's going to have more power than Oban Elliott. Elliott's going to be more technical, and he's training with Jack Shore and the boys. But, like, Elliott won a majority decision on the Dana White Contender Series. I don't know if I'm going to side with this favorite here. Like, a lot of Dana White Contender Series fighters dropped the bag. It looked like Carlos Prates was going to drop the bag to Trevin Giles, and he got it done, just got it done. But I don't know if Oban Elliott has the finishing capabilities here. His wins aren't as impressive, and these guys don't have as much experience as the guys that Val Woodburn beat. You know, he beat a 6-2 by a decision in his fight prior to the Contender Series and a 2-1 by a decision. So I'm going to side with Val Woodburn. He could win the decision, and he could easily get the knockout in this fight. Oban Elliott, I don't think he should be this big of a favorite, and I'm not going to tell you guys to bet on him, anything like that. I think it's dog or pass in this fight. We're on to the next. We're going to forecast Josh Quinlan and left hand to God Danny Barlow here. And I think Danny Barlow as a favorite is a rightful favorite now. We got a right price tag beside a fighter, and I can tell you guys he's going to win this fight. He's the rightful favorite here. Josh Quinlan, he's coming off a friggin' loss to Trey Waters, 7-1 by a decision. I honestly think Danny Barlow can get the knockout in this fight. Left hand to God for a reason. His last fight was actually a right hand, I'm quite sure. But powerful, explosive, and the matchmakers undoubtedly know what they're doing in this fight here. Like I said multiple times on my previous breakdowns, the matchmakers are going to line up fights for a reason. They want certain guys to win and kind of rise up into the ranks. And I truly believe Danny Barlow, left hand to God, is one of those guys, man. He hits hard. He's interesting to watch as well. I know we haven't seen much of him yet. He's a little bit green, 7-0. But I think he's going to fare out all right, especially in this fight against Josh Quinlan, who is not only lacking an 8-inch reach advantage, but he's coming off the juice as well. And we've seen this guy in the second, third round gas out. I don't think he's UFC caliber. At one point I did, but yeah, he's coming off the juice. And the left-handed God's going to have an 8-inch reach advantage to work with here. I think he's getting it done by KO quite easily. And next up, we got a fight that I had to think about for a little bit. But then once I found out who I was going with, I was quite confident in him. So we're going to break this one down. And at first, it's kind of hard to figure out who's going to win because you're looking at a Chinese prospect coming in as a favorite, but hasn't fought since 2022 in a quarterfinal win, road to the UFC. All of his wins, round 1 KO. He looks explosive, has lots of power, but to who? Like 7-2? 1-3? 6-9? 9-6? Like 5-8? Like, get out of here. Stop. Okay, so we're looking at the underdog who just beat Bruno Lopez on the Dana White Contender Series with a right hand and hammer fists. And he cashed in as a huge underdog. Everybody doubted him. And I'm kind of surprised to see him as an underdog here. This is going to be the dog of the week for me. I know Armin Petrosian looked like trash last week, but I'm getting back on track here. Brendson Ribeiro is my dog of the week. And my actual dog at home here, his name is Benson. So Brendson and Benson, I hope you guys agree. He won his last 3 fights, all by KO. And he beat guys that were 29-18, 7-1. And 11-0. So you got to agree, probably KO, TKO, ground and pound finish for the underdog, Brendson Ribeiro. The dog's going to be barking in this fight. It's going to be a finish either way. If you do like Mingyang Zhang, probably look at the knockout prop for him as well. I think this one is going to be a knockout. And if you have not yet, smash that like button. I really appreciate that support. And if you have not yet, suplex the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications. And if you want early access to my picks, my locks, my dogs, I got a platinum pick sheet with the confidence levels, method of victories, which round the fight is going to finish in. And all my bets are on Patreon as well for only $5 a month. So hit the link in the bio. And if you're cheap, Discord's free. So I have props of the week in there. I do at least 3 props every week. The locks will be free in Discord. I'm going to do locks and dogs absolutely free. I know at the end of last year I was kind of keeping it for Patreon only, but no, I'm giving out my locks each and every week, 100%. I have a line movement tracker now, so I'll show you that right now. This is what it looks like, but, you know, I have a couple more to add in, and that's going to be for Patreon only. They're going to see the line movement this week. The last 2 weeks, it was free on Discord, so jump in Discord now. I might give it out once more for free. I'll give you one more opportunity, but this is it. This is it. And next up, we're taking a look at Rinya Nakamura. And he's going to be fighting a guy coming in short notice because he was supposed to fight Brady Hindstand. He's now going to fight Carlos Vera. They're bringing this guy in here to get slaughtered. I don't know why they're bringing him in here. Now, this guy got submitted a few times, I believe. And Rinya Nakamura by submission was a heavily bet prop last time. And he could not finish Fernie Garcia. And we just seen Fernie Garcia get finished. So in this fight here, I do think Nakamura will get the finish. That's kind of how I think it's going to go. The last time Vera got finished, it was by submission in the 2nd round. Now, Nakamura had the back of Fernie. Fernie's just one tough son of a bitch. So I don't think Carlos Vera's one tough son of a bitch. So I think we're getting the finish for Rinya Nakamura. Should be safe to parlay in this fight here. I know last time he won the decision, but Fernie is tough. And Carlos Vera has to be coming in here to get slaughtered. I don't see him winning this fight in any world. And next up, we got a slugfest in the heavyweight division to talk about. Marcos Rodrigo de Lima and Justin Tafa. Bad man Justin Tafa coming in as an underdog here. And his only way to win is going to be a knockout. And it's crazy to think that he's plus 125 and 80% of Tapology has Tafa to win. And 97% of that 80% has him by KO. I'm going to be one of those guys. I hate to say it. Like, I'm going to be one of those maybe degenerates. Maybe this is a public underdog, but I gotta agree. This guy here can throw down. Lima coming off a knockout loss to Derek Lewis, who came in there with the flying knee, finished him right away, like really quick. I think Tafa will eventually, within 15 minutes, find a knockout for sure. 100%. I'm not going to think twice about that one. 8 years younger, way faster, the much better boxer. As long as he can keep this on the feet, it's his fight to win. De Lima's going to look to lay on top of him, get cage control, pressure, but that's not going to happen. Look at Zach Paga last time against Bogdan Gazkov. Gazkov knocked his ass out. I'm pretty confident Tafa will knock out De Lima once again. De Lima has lots of experience. This is going to be a good win for Justin Tafa, so Tafa's probably going to get a tougher task after this, and Not win, but in this fight, I think he'll get it done. I think he will. And we're getting plus 125. I mean, he could be a dog of the week for me, but I'm too confident in Brendson Ribeiro. And next up, we got the prelim headliner, and this is a really good women's fight in the strawweight division between Amanda Lemos and Mackenzie Dern. I'm actually really excited for this one. Mackenzie Dern was one of my favorite girls fighters. Considered her my wife, stuff like that. But, you know, win-loss her last couple fights. I think she's getting back-to-back losses. That's right. I'm going against her again. Amanda Lemos coming off a decision to the champion Weili Zhang. How can you go against her? In the 4th and 5th round, she looked incredible. She's definitely going to be hungry after that loss. And Mackenzie Dern just got knocked out to Jessica Andrade, who, yes, did beat Amanda Lemos quite recently by submission, standing arm triangle, but I don't know. I just feel like on the feet, Lemos is going to do a little bit too much. She's very aggressive. She's going to have a lot of volume. And I can't trust Mackenzie Dern to get the takedowns with a 20% takedown accuracy. Hopefully she's working on those takedowns. And if she does get the takedowns, she can get the submission, but I think she will be able to get out of any submissions that Mackenzie Dern is going to try to threaten. If she even threatens any, right? Like, she's not very good at getting the fight to the ground. If she wants to try to keep it on the feet to prove that she's a good striker now and try to revenge herself from that Jessica Andrade loss, I just don't think that's a good idea. I think it's Lemos by a decision. I think it's Lemos potentially late KO. She has to be the pick for me. If you're going with Mackenzie Dern, I honestly don't blame you. She's incredibly good looking, has a huge ass. Other than that, though, like, 6 years younger, maybe the UFC's pushing her for a win here, a revenge win, but I don't see it. I think it's back-to-back losses for her in this fight against Amanda Lemos. It's going to be a good one. Probably not going to bet it either, to be honest with you. And next up, we got the main card. But before we get into the main card, please smash that like button. I appreciate that support from everyone. Join Discord for absolutely free if you have not yet. It's free. Don't be too cheap. All what you got to do is hit the link in the bio below. If you don't got Discord, it's not hard to set up at all. And we have a great community going. We have like 200 forecasters now. Not everybody's active right now. You know, I've been inactive myself the last couple of weeks, but this week we're getting back on track. It's Monday now, getting the video out nice and early for everyone. And picks are out there since Sunday on Patreon. It's only $5 a month. If you want early access to my picks, confidence levels, method of victories, all my bets. And now I just made up a new line movement tracker for each and every fight night. And that's going to be for Patreon as well. $5 a month. And back to normal, the locks and dogs will be absolutely free at the end of this video. So stay tuned to that. And then we're going to do the forecast of the week. I didn't see many comments, so I want to see people commenting their forecast of the week, which is their most confident prop at plus money. Danielle Brooks last week, she got it done. We're 2 for 2. And I'm going to go through the comments and choose one forecaster's prop, whatever one I think is really good and worth putting money on. And that'll make the content up and have it on the Friday show. I'll also have it on Instagram, Twitter as well. We're going to do this each and every card, so make sure you get your comment in. Put hashtag forecast of the week as well. I forgot to mention that before. And this wasn't a requirement last week, but this week I need to see hashtag forecast of the week if I'm going to select you. So Danielle Brooks did not have her hashtag, but I still chose her. She gave a couple, and she was like the only one. So I really appreciate you, Danielle Brooks, commenting each and every week, giving your props. So if you're the only one commenting this week, just like Martial Insight last week, if you're the only person commenting, giving your plus money prop, I'm going to choose you once again because we're 2 for 2. And the forecast of the week is making everybody money because, like I said, it's a plus money prop. Go comment your most confident right now. We're getting into the main card, and we're going to start it off with Fluffy, Anthony Hernandez, and Roman Kopylov. And this is a very close fight. I'm not going to lie. I really, really like Kopylov as a fighter. I like his style, everything like that. He's a very good striker, powerful, great kicks, high kicks, low kicks. He can knock you out with any kind of strike, in my opinion. And it's going to be hard to deal with him. I think you guys can agree. Now, Fluffy's going to try to take him down, get the control time. How durable is Fluffy? I mean, I don't think Edmund Shabazian got the best of him. Marc-Andre Barrios definitely didn't get the best of him. Josh Frem didn't test him whatsoever. Rodolfo Vieira somehow got submitted to him, so that's one win that a lot of people might think, hey, like Anthony Hernandez could come in here, get the takedowns, get the submission, and I understand that. I see that threat as well, but the loss to Kevin Holland before that in round 1 by KO, that makes me lean Roman Kopylov. Some of you might have seen that as well. Like, I think Kopylov could do the same, maybe more impressively as well. I know Kevin Holland's knockouts are very impressive, but Kopylov, his last couple knockouts, super impressive. This guy, I would like to see him inside the top 15. Fighting the best of the best in this division. I think he has a lot to offer, but obviously he has holes in his game, and it has to be on the ground. And this is a matchup that he's going to get tested on the ground against Fluffy Hernandez, so I'm worried for him. But I'm rooting for him. I'm picking him to win. I'm degenerately probably going to bet him by KO, as I always have been, and have been cashing. But this time I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm here to give you my honest opinion on these fights, talk it out with you, and I'm a little worried. Anthony Hernandez in this fight, just like Rodolfo Vieira last week against Armen Petrosyan, could come in here and get the submission and make all the Roman Kopylov bettors look stupid. Because obviously he does have holes in his grappling. He got submitted to Carl Robertson in 2019 in the 3rd round, and then he lost a decision due to grappling to Albert Duraev in 2021. So his last 4 wins, he did win, all by KO, but Alessi DeChirico, Punahele Soriano, Claudio Ribeiro, and Josh Fremd, like I said, not the highest caliber of competition, but he's doing it very impressively, and I'm thinking he's going to get this one done impressively as well. Just a tad bit worried, though. And next up, we got a very, very good fight, grappling heavy. This one's going to be back and forth for the most part. Merab Dvalishvili and Henry Cejudo. These boys are going to wrestle it out. Merab putting up 40-some takedowns against Peter Yan, making the dude retire. Like, he has to grind this out and win it by a decision. He's a decision dominator. His cardio is next level. He's much younger in this fight as well. And Aljo probably went up a division because it's Merab's time. He knows it's Merab's time. He's been training with Merab for the last couple of years, giving him the game plan to beat Henry Cejudo. It's pretty easy. You know, Aljamain just did it. It was a split decision, but this is only a 3-round fight. It should be 15 minutes of Dvalishvili domination, in my opinion. Some Cejudo fans are going to take the stab, but a knockout win to Dominic Cruz doesn't overly impress me. A knockout win to Marlon Moraes doesn't overly impress me. And TJ Dillashaw, I thought that was a good win, but I took the stab at Henry Cejudo by KO against Aljamain Sterling, and it didn't work out, so it's definitely not going to work out this fight. I'd recommend you guys to take that advice and don't bet Cejudo KO either. If it cashes, I'm going to feel like an idiot, but trust me, like, if he can't knock out Aljo, not going to knock out Dvalishvili. Dvalishvili by decision all day. And next up, we got everyone's favorite, most hated fighter, Ian Machado Garry, the future. 13-0 from Ireland. Acts like Conor McGregor. Huge wannabe. Fighting hands of steel, Geoff Neal. Everybody wants Geoff Neal probably to get the KO in this fight, but I'm not here to tell you that's how it's going down. Alright? I'm not the biggest Ian Garry fan, but I'm wise enough to know that he can probably keep this at distance and outstrike Geoff Neal to a decision. Neil Magny beat Geoff Neal by a decision. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson did the same thing. Stayed at distance, outstruck Geoff Neal by a decision. Ian Garry kind of has the same style. I think he's going to do the same thing that Wonderboy did. I think he's going to do the same thing that Neil Magny did. Shavkat Rakhmonov reminded us how hard it is to finish Geoff Neal. And he reminded us that Geoff Neal has a ton of heart, and he's not going to quit on himself either. He throws heavy, he has lots of power, but other than the puncher's chance, I'm wise enough to know, skill for skill, Ian Garry is the better fighter, and he most likely will win this by a decision. And next up, we're on to the co-main event already. We're running through the picks nice and quick, and they're out nice and early as well. That's how we love it. And we're looking to make some cash, especially on this fight. I have a lot of confidence in this one. Now we got Robert Whittaker against Paulo Costa, who constantly gets fights canceled. and looks like he's on the juice. Coming off a win against 16-5 Luke Rockhold, where beat him by a decision, couldn't knock his ass out. Now that's just not impressive in my opinion. I thought he could knock him out. He just kind of danced around and beat him up, and I don't know. I don't think Paulo Costa is what everybody thought he was going to be. He only has 2 losses. After that Israel Adesanya loss by knockout 3 years ago, he lost to Marvin Vettori by a decision. I can see Whittaker winning the decision as well. You know, this guy has a lot of experience. Beat Calvin Gastelum, Jared Cannonier, Marvin Vettori. He beat Marvin Vettori by a decision, so that fight there just kind of... I know it's MMA math, but that fight there really does explain this fight to me. If Marvin Vettori can beat Paulo Costa by a decision, I sure as hell fucking hope Robert Whittaker can. This dude only lost to Dricus by knockout 7 months ago, but he got caught, and that's not the worst loss. The dude's a champion now, and Dricus is super powerful with that jab. And like I said, he caught him. Like, that happens. He only got caught to Israel Adesanya before that. His last loss to Adesanya was a decision where he just struggles with the range of Adesanya. Other than that, man, he runs through guys. Marvin Vettori ran through him. Didn't struggle any with Cannonier or Calvin Gastelum, like I said. So Costa shouldn't be a struggle, but not going to finish him for sure. Costa is fairly durable. I forecast it's going to be a half-close fight for the most part, with Robert Whittaker coming out on top by a decision. But you never know. Dan Iggy last week got the knockout, and I got paid on that bet. Decided last minute that he was probably going to get his $50K bonus, that I should probably bet the knockout. And thankfully I did, because I got paid. But I feel bad because he wasn't a value prop of the week. But this week, we're focused on a new week, and I believe Robert Whittaker, whenever that opens, I hope we can get him at plus money by a decision, because I don't really see it going any other way. Unless on Friday when I do the post-weigh-in face-off show, I got something different for you. But for now, pretty confident Whittaker wins this by a decision. And next up, we got the main event of the evening. This is what everyone's waiting for. Alexander the Great Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria. Topuria, 14-0, dude's a beast. Finishes a lot of his fights, but didn't finish Josh Emmett. You know, got some takedowns. He can get some control. Has a lot of power, explosive power. His jiu-jitsu is very good as well. He's no stranger on the ground either. He likes to keep it on the feet. He likes to strike, though. But Volkanovski, he's just too experienced, in my opinion. I know he just got knocked out to Islam Makhachev, but took that fight on super short notice. He's super determined to prove the doubters wrong here. He thinks people are doubting him in this matchup. And at this price, they obviously are. He's a coin flip. He's one of the best fighters ever in the featherweight division, and he's a coin flip, man. Like, that's insane. There's no way I'm going against Volkanovski. I hope most of the other cappers aren't going against this guy either. Other than Makhachev, man. This guy is the best fighter on planet Earth, in my opinion. Like, all around, just a specimen. I think he will finish this fight, honestly, with the way he's talking, how determined he is. He wants to come back after that loss, no doubt. Getting knocked out in the first round on short notice to Makhachev in a main event spot. Not a good look. He's obviously going to come out here, look to get it done. Impressive fashion, maybe hang him up. I don't want to see him hang him up, but I heard rumors he might want to hang them up if he can beat Topuria. If he loses to Ilia Topuria as well, he's probably going to hang them up. Back-to-back losses for Alexander the Great Volkanovski, but you never know. I'm not here to judge these MMA fighters' careers. I'm just here to judge on how they're going to perform on their fights, and I think Volkanovski will perform, and I think he might hang them up after he beats the crap out of a prospect on the rise who's just going to get taught a tough lesson here, getting so close to a title, but, you know, he's just inches away. He will be a champion someday. I can promise you guys that. Maybe after Volkanovski retires. Until then, Volkanovski will be the champion of the featherweight division. That is my prediction. No one will beat this guy. He will retire the great pound-for-pound GOAT, Volkanovski. No way I was going against Volk, eh? And next up, I'm going to start it off with the forecast of the week. So all what you got to do is comment your most confident prop. I just went through each and every fight. So at plus money later in the week, come back to this video. Maybe it's midweek when you're hearing this video. So comment below your most confident prop at plus money. Put hashtag UFC forecast. I'm going to ride with one comment. I'm going to put some money on it, make some content. I'll have it on Instagram, Twitter as well. So I hope to see a lot of comments. And let's go get that money. I'll be back giving the final forecast, some props, some bets. So make sure to come back, find out who the forecast of the week is. Maybe it's you. But it's going to be in Discord absolutely early and absolutely free. Hit the link in the bio below right now. And go comment right now before I give you the dog of the week and lock of the week at plus money. And now I'm going to give you the dog of the week. Stop wasting your time. It's Brendson Ribeiro. My dog is Benson. And I'm rocking with Brendson for my dog of the week. He's going to be barking in the very first round. Throwing bombs. Very aggressive. Looking to tear a strip off his opponent. At plus 125, I do expect us to lose value. So get that early access, get in Discord, get in Patreon. You're not going to regret it. Brendson Ribeiro, I was going to say lock of the week. This guy 100% confidence, dog of the week. Don't know how he's a dog. I got 3 locks cooking up though. I was going to say locks there, but I got 3 that I'm going to give you right now for plus 250. I want to get my streak going again. I'm not going to lie. Like, my locks have been shitty the last 2-3 cards, and I'm sorry for that. I need to get back on track. I hit 12 locks in a row before everything hit the fan. So this is where we turn it around. We hit 3, and we hit the dog of the week, all in one go here. First up, I'm giving you guys Danny Barlow, 100% confidence, left hand to God. We're getting blessed. Next up, the machine, Merab Dvalishvili, is going to dominate a decision here. But play it money line. This is just all 3 of these fighters on the money line. And we're going to end it off with the Reaper, Robert Whittaker. He will finish the job against Paulo Costa one way or another. Plus 250 on that ticket there. Lock of the week. I'm looking to start a streak. And let's go get it, forecasters. I'm fired up for this card. It's stacked top to bottom. We got 12 fights. 2 got taken off. I know Tai Tuivasa was supposed to be on this card. That was going to be a banger against Marcin Tybura. But nonetheless, we got a stacked card, 12 fights, lots of betting opportunities. Get that early access on Discord and on Patreon. I'm going to be back on Friday with the forecast of the week. I better see some friggin' comments below. Props at plus money. Hashtag forecast of the week. God bless everybody. Left hand to God. He's going to get it done. Let's go.